Hey, what's up? What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. On hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale. What it do, what it do? You already in the building and you know you in the building with. It's hump day. Time to holla at the homie, 360 the poet right here. That's THAPOET. Make sure you spell it right because it means something to me and I hope it means something to y'all too because that means tenacity, heart, and attitude presents opportunities every time. That means every time you tenacious and you got the right heart and attitude, then the opportunity is going to come your way. They're going to come rolling. So everybody else can be the poet, but maybe not 360 the poet, because that's me. What's up, Lucy Lowe? Good to have you in the building today. Shy Kyler, what's up, Big G? With your big time. Homeboy coming to me all the way from Chi-Town. Robert Cool out in this thing. That's what I'm talking about. That's K with a K, cool with a K, like the cigarettes and the gang in them. What's happening, y'all? Y'all know what it do. We in this thing like a wedgie, baby. Man, we got a good one on deck today, man. We got somebody by the name of Guilty and Torn, and they got us a letter that he had me thrown aback for lack of better verbiage. You know what I mean? I got thrown aback by this one because it made me really think, like, what would William do? What's going on, Faith Works? What's another Chi-Town? Chi-Town representing. My Illinois folks is in the building today. Y'all, everybody know where I say I'm from. California, Nevada. Y'all know I was born in Illinois, grew up in California, cut my teeth as a man in Tennessee, but set my roots right here in Nevada. So every one of them places hold a great place in my heart, so that's where I'm from, y'all. If you want to know where I'm from, California, Nevada. I got a poem coming on about it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm wildin'. That's if y'all don't know the verbiage, that's something that come from around them parts, somewhere around that way. But 217 stand up. That's my Illinois. What's going on with y'all though? But we in this thing. We got a good one on deck. Like I said, Guilty and Torn is the person who sent us the letter. And, me, I always got something printed out because I can't always see the computer screen the way I want to see it in the direction I want to see it in. You know how it is. As you get up there approaching that half a century mark, man, your eyeballs get to changing on you. I be trying to wear contacts sometimes, act like I'm cute. So if y'all see me out in them streets and I ain't got no glasses on, then y'all know I'm out there thinking I'm cute in them streets. For whatever reason, whatever. It might be my outfit, it might be my shoes, might be the people I'm with, whatever the case may be. But everybody got the right to feel good, look like they looking good sometime. But we're going to dive into the letter. But before I do, I always like to give my disclaimer. What's up, Dakarai? Another see, that's what I'm talking about. Illtown everywhere. And they all Chicago. And see, they real Chicago people too. Not Waukegan. They not from anywhere else, Calumet, nothing like that. Now these Chi-Town people went to real high school. You like this hat mess or the S's for Seward? I can see that. I can see that. I can rock that. I just rocked it for the the colors. Y'all know me. I'm not really a Stanford Cardinal, but, I think my brain work like one sometimes. But I'm a Tennessee State Tiger. Anybody want to know, ask me, and I'll tell you 3 times in a row, like Beetlejuice, 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 TSU, 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 and everything around you turn into blue and white. But, I always like to let people know, give my disclaimer. I've only taken one psychology class, and that was Introduction to Psychology, first year at Tennessee State. So I've never been trained in any psychology, psychiatry, or anything along those lines, or any counseling. But what I have done, like I like to let y'all know, is I've lived a very colorful life, and that's just not my wardrobe, but that is the life I've lived. I've lived vicariously through others who've allowed me to be close enough to them to sponge up this game so I can squeeze it out to you. Stop it. You know who I'm laughing at. But anyway, so we getting back to this thing. So let's dive into this letter so we can dissect it and see what we got going on. It says, Dear Holla at the Homie, I'm in a situation that's been tearing me apart, and I don't know who else to turn to right now. Now, a while back, I made a mistake, a serious one. Somehow, I managed to get away with it, but someone close to me, someone I care deeply about, got caught in the middle and has been charged for it. They had no part in what happened, but all the evidence seems to point in their direction. They're facing some serious consequences for something they didn't do. Now, I'm living with this crushing guilt. I know the right thing to do is to step up and confess, but I'm scared. Coming forward would completely derail my life. I could lose everything, my freedom, my future. But at the same time, I can't bear the thought of watching them take the fall for my actions, knowing that they're innocent. I don't know if I have the courage to turn myself in. Now, it's eating me alive, and I'm afraid I won't be able to live with this weight of this guilt much longer. So I got a question. Do I protect myself, or do I come clean and save someone I love from being railroaded for something that they didn't do? Please help me figure out what to do. Sincerely, guilty, and torn. Ooh, I said that, land of golden sunshine. But yeah, ooh, that's a tough one right there, dog. I mean, when I first read this letter, I had to ask myself, like, what if Robert, accountability, yeah, I get that. I get all of that. You got to take accountability. But, I always play angel's advocate, devil's advocate. I put myself on both shoulders over here. Exactly. Faye said, turn yourself in, boo. See, all the real people that know what's real in life, and you say it's somebody you care about and all these things are attached to it, they getting into all the research in which I broke this thing down with it. They saying the exact same thing. Faithworks 100 said, turn yourself in, boo. Shy Kyler said, take accountability. You know what I mean? So my first thing is, you are in a deep situation. You in a predicament, dog. You really are. I can't lie to you. I can't sit there and sugarcoat it and make you believe that, this is nothing. Flip a coin. What's up, Lulu Tally? Always good to see you in the building, home girl. California stand up in here too. So we got 2 of my home places, Illinois, California in the building. Of course, my Nevadans out here always watching. But you in a predicament, so what's happening to you and what's happening to your friend are 2 different things. What's this? Dakari Kofi said, man, if you truly care for them, turn yourself in. See, a lot of people are leaning towards the same thing, So the thing is, it's not just a bad situation. This is an innocent person that's facing the situation of consequences for something that they didn't do. And this is heavy. What it said, Faith Work says, it says a lot about a person to let someone take the fall for your ish. That does. And that's what I was thinking at first too, Faith. Like, how did you let them take the fall for it in the first place? How did they get caught up? I wish you would have elaborated a little bit more in your letter to let me know, but again, you can't be out here talking too much. You can't tell, because if you ain't ready to turn yourself in, too much information may get you told on, because the internet never fails, never loses. Internet never loses. But, so I got to see, what type of person are you to let them take the fall? Or did they just happen to get swooped up because of speculation, or because something that you had on, or maybe you borrowed an outfit, or maybe you were in their car, or Shy Kyler said loyalty and trust is gone. What's up, Akashara Art? What's going on with you? Shy Kyler said trust and loyalty and trust is gone. Because I got to know, like, was it something that they just happened to pull up on them because they were in something that represented or symbolized something that you used to make this what you call a mistake? So what kind of person are you, first of all? You know what I mean? So I know this conscience is eating you up. conscience gonna eat us all up. But we always feel bad on the inside because nobody knows where the nose goes when the doors close. You understand what I'm saying? That goes for a whole spectrum of situations, so nobody knows what type of person you are when your feet are put to the fire. Everybody think they a gangster until they in the interrogation room and they singing like a bird. Everybody think they a killer until they got a tool and they can't pull it. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks these things until the situation really hits home. So you felt like this thing that you did was a mistake. Now, you went into it knowing it was a mistake and that there were consequences associated with it. So that's one thing, right? So you got to ask yourself, how much do you care about this person? That's one side. That's one side, either angel or devil, however you looking at it, right? How much do you care about this person? Because right now, your silence is speaking louder than anything you could ever say. You sitting there quietly while they taking the heat is speaking volumes. I mean, it is loud. It's thunderous in their ears and in their heart right now, because if you know them and they know you, they know it's you that they after, and they holding firm for you. They ain't snitching on you. I got to think of it like that. Because if y'all close and you care about this person in that way, then that lets me know that they would at least be familiar enough with what happened that they may be able to kind of like, hey, this ain't me, but I can tell you who it was. So right now, they not even doing that. So it's really eating you up. How long they been in jail for this? Or have they gone to jail? Have they bonded out? Or, it's a lot going on. Like, have they spent money and are you going to pay that back? Knowing it's you. These are things you got to ask yourself. How much, and this is all wrapped up in how much do you care about this person? And again, like I said, you sitting silently is loud as hell. Silence in situations can be the loudest sound never heard. You hear that oxymoron? The loudest sound never heard is your silence when it comes to you speaking up with integrity, with loyalty, all these things that these, my constituents out here been sitting here saying, like the loyalty and trust. And it says a lot about a person to let somebody else take the fall. Like, now every day that gets closer to this person being punished, that's another little grain of sand in the hourglass, right? Every day when it gets closer to that person being punished, not just for something, it's for your mistake. Exactly. It's a Puffy and Shine situation. Something like that. But, with them, they speculated Puffy, he just made him take the heat. We already know what Diddy up to. We know he manipulative. The truth that came out. What's done in the dark will always come to light. You dig? So, again, it is similar to something like that, like a Puffy and Shine situation. But this person they said they had nothing to do with it. I mean, they probably wasn't even there, but they probably know about it, or at least familiar enough with you to know this is your MO. So again, they allowing the heat to be on them by not sending it your way. They could be like aluminum foil and kind of deflect that heat coming off a little bit, like, I got to protect myself. I can't let you scorch me in this interrogation room, but let me get some of that heat back off my direction. We talked about this earlier a little bit on the Morning Wood. I was talking about, I said, I'm never doing time for somebody else's crime. Now, I may not tell them who did it, but I'm going to make sure they know who the hell did not. How about them apples? Because I ain't going to jail for your time, dog. I'm not. And you'll never call me a snitch because I ain't snitching on you. But I'm just pleading my case to where we know this ain't the case. What's up, Jay Castillo? JJ in the building, So, what would y'all do? What would you do in a situation like this? All of y'all out there, if you know somebody and they got caught up for a crime that you committed, would you be in integral integrity filled enough to go in there and be like, yo, Your Honor, my mans and them didn't do that. It's me, dog. It's all me. That's on me, baby. That's on me, baby. Would you have that integrity in you to do that? Because we asking this person guilty and torn, we letting them know that, this is a tough situation that you've allowed it to get to. Oh, I know, Shot Collar, I know you would go in there. You'd be like, nah, dog, that wasn't him, man. That wasn't Lil Dave, man. That was me, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you would go ahead and take the heat. I know your integrity has been tested, and you got an A, you know, and that's how it is with some people. But everybody, like Guilty and Torn, isn't the same. So we got to try to help guide them in the direction of, you know, being a real one with your real ones. If you really care about somebody, that creates them as being a real person in your life. I ain't talking about who's the realest, who's the hardest, or who's the most faithful, who's the most loyal. But if they really exist in your life, that consists of being real in your life. So they real ones in your life, right? So if they a real one to you, you got to be a real one to them. And be somebody who they could depend on to do the right thing when nobody else is looking. That's the definition of integrity. Because the police not even looking in your direction. The authorities aren't even looking in your direction. So you can do the right thing when those people aren't even looking. That's where you say, I would rather be right with God, Shy Kyler. I feel you, because that inside, man, listen, your conscience is your guide, you know, which is your God, which is your, you know, the voice inside your head. That's your conscience. The things that speak the good, the evil, the balances between it all, the Libra of your mind, the judgment of that, it comes from your conscience. You judging yourself with your conscience. So again, like, you got to get right with that inner voice. You know, but you got to weigh the fear against the life of the fear of changing your life versus the life of somebody else's changing because of something you did. Like that math not mathing. You know, those cannot weigh the same. That's not asking you which one weighs more, a ton of bricks or a ton of feathers. Those two weigh the same. Ben Hill, been real in this building. ATL, stand up. You know what I'm saying? That's weighing. That's not weighing the same thing. You know, what's up? I am Lady Thompson. You know, that's not apples to apples. When you basing it off, okay, if my life is gonna change versus they life is changing. What's up, a God Kingman 17 Ezio Unperfect? People be having some long names. I like that though. I'm glad I'm able to read a teleprompter. You know, you know what I mean. So that's not weighing apples to apples out there. You know, so you know you got to have the integrity within you as a person. Again, if you feel like this person is real to you, they are a real one in your life, they truly exist in your life, then you got to be real to them in the way that you would want them to be to you. Because they already showing some loyalty to you as it is. They ain't snitch on you. They know it's you. They know it's you. You know they know it's you. I was asking somebody, I did a little test question earlier, and somebody was like, well, if it's somebody I know and they went down for the crime, I'm going to go visit them and talk to them like, hey, I'm about to come turn myself in, you know, and if they tell me don't do it, then I may not do it. I was like, I don't know about all that. My insides would still tell me I can't let you serve this time for my crime. That's just me, though. IMO. Exactly. It would eat me up too, Shy Kyler. It would eat me up, man. Like every day I'm on the outside eating good, living, and I know they waiting on me to hit their books. They waiting on me to JPay video chat with them on a daily. And I got, what's up, Kippanine in the building? Pete, what up, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to ask yourself, like, you know, does that weigh? That's not apples to apples. Well, I kept their books good, so they wouldn't need any books if they didn't go to jail for what you did. Maybe if you go turn yourself in, you can have the money to the side, and they'll make sure your books is good. You know, you got to think about these things, man. You got to weigh the fear against the innocence. Your fear, their innocence. Those two things don't add up, man. I think, well, what would mean for you to stay quiet and them end up in prison, or what about worse than that? What if they go to the pen, somebody they run into in there, and then they get iced and it wouldn't have been somebody you beef with. It would have been somebody they beef with, or somebody said something wrong to them, or somebody liked the way they looked, and now they getting psychologically destroyed because you decided to stay quiet over something you know you did. How would that make you feel? That's what you got to ask yourself. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to tell you what can be done. I never tell anybody what to do. I just give you options of what can be done. I'm here to Jamel Holloway option this thing off to y'all. You know, am I gonna hand it back to you? You gonna throw it away? Am I gonna throw it away? It's all up to you how you take it in, right? So, could you live with that? Could you wake up every morning knowing that somebody is paying for yourself? You say ban-ish. You say, oh, see, I got that. See, oh, I love when people write things. You know what I'm saying? Ish. Yeah, it is. Buster, ish. You know what I mean? That's exactly what it is. All kind of ban-ish. You right, Faith Works 100. Because, you know what I mean? Like, it's, okay, here's the thing, right? It's not just about your decision right now, right? It's about what comes after this. If you confess, right? Say you confess. And after you confess, you might lose some things, right? You lose your freedom or you by you owning up to your mistake, you're going to definitely lose some of your time, right? But you'll be choosing honesty. And that right there can bring you some peace. And peace of mind is priceless. Because if you have to go to bed every night and your conscience is eating you up like, damn, I did the homie wrong, or I did the homegirl wrong, or damn, I did my cousin dirty, like, because you didn't say who it was. You didn't say it was a family member, because if it's family, I was going to eat your butt up. You already know it. I don't usually be biased, but if it was family, FOE, family over everything for me. You know what I mean? So, really, happiness over everything. H-O-E me, baby. Happiness over everything, because, my family, they make me happy. But, it's more about the things that you would never regain. Not about, what's up, McFadden Amber? It's about the things that you'll never get back. If you allow this to go through and your integrity gets eaten up to the point where, like, you are now psychologically messed up, you'll never get that back. Like, one thing, people always say, like, oh, if I loan you $1 million, you can write me $1 million check and pay me back. But if I give you 10 minutes on September 11, 2024, oh yeah, September, RIP, big up to all those. Just thought about the date right now, September 11, big up to all those we lost, anybody affected by the 9/11 attacks 23 years ago. But you can't get those 10 minutes back, right? You can never get that back. What if something occurs to somebody in their family while they locked up and they can't get to them to be the protector and provider for them, and now it's because you decided to stay quiet? Could you live with that? On the flip side of staying quiet, the guilt you feeling now, it's not going anywhere. Unless you a heartless bastard, right, Shy Kyler? And if they're a heartless bastard, then that's something different. That's something different. But I don't think that you are, because you wrote into this letter. You wrote into this platform. You wanted to get an answer from the homie. So the homie 360 gonna answer you, right? The best I can. Because, again, I'm not perfect. I'm just, again, giving you options. Never the answers. I'm just answering the question with options, right? So on the flip side of this, again, now you're feeling guilty now, but it's not going anywhere, right? It's going to continue to fester. It's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to make you feel as if nothing is going to allow you to get out of it. It becomes like what we talked about a few weeks ago, quicksand. And everybody knows fighting to get out of quicksand is the worst way is the easiest way to lose and the worst way to go out. Fighting against quicksand, nah, man, you got to be patient. You got to really extend that branch of humility. You got to extend that branch of integrity now to get yourself out of this quicksand. What are you going to do? What you going to do? How you going to get yourself out of it? It's natural to think like fight or flight. Everybody thinks fight or flight. Okay, boom, if I get out the country, okay, well, I hope it ain't that bad of a situation, because if it's that case, then you really about to let your homie get washed. If it's that bad, you got to dip out? Maybe you do a year. Maybe you do it 6 months. Maybe if you go and turn yourself in, they'll show mercy on you. Who knows? If you melanated, you better go in there ready. We're going to talk about that in a little bit too. You know what I mean? Think about this. When you made that mistake, that you call it that mistake, you made a choice, a cognizant choice to do what it was you were doing. You knew You knew the consequences on the other side or what the possibility of them could be. You knew. Your homie didn't know. Your cousin or whoever this person is that you care about, the person who you wondering why they catching the heat and you not, just because it's something that you did, they didn't know. They didn't make that choice because you said they had nothing to do with it. In your letter, you said they had nothing to do with it. So now they getting washed because you allowing this, you sitting over there tiptoeing, being quiet. Wow. Wow. How, Sway? How you gonna do it like that? You made a choice, and now you got another choice in front of you. What you say, Lucy Low 78? Definitely turn yourself in. Please stop criminal things, because if you can't even confess, you definitely don't need to be in jail or prison. See, that's another thing. Like, you thought you were ready for the consequences, but right now, you said yourself, you scared. What'd you say, Amber McFadden? Amber, you said if you really care about that person, you wouldn't leave them out there. Exactly. Whether they out on bond or whether they in jail right now, currently, you one, need to pay that bail back if they've bonded out. Two, you need to, if they've already gotten an attorney, you need to give them their money back, or let that retainer be for you. Pay them their money back and let that retainer be for you. Because there's no way that you could possibly think that letting them stay in there or letting them stay, in trouble is going to be like okay for you, them, or anybody involved. Because you got to think about it. If you know about it and they know about it, that means more people know about it. So ain't nobody going to be rocking with you in a minute. Do you want the rest of your life to be looking over your shoulder like, dang, knowing somebody else took the fall for what you did, not knowing if they going to one day wake up like, nah, man, I ain't standing here no more. Let me tell you who did it. Ray and them did it, man. Guilty and Torn did it, man. He or she or they did it, man. I'm not standing here anymore. Like, so now you looking over your shoulder every day. What? That's not what you want. That's not beneficial to your mind. That's not beneficial to your lifestyle, to your heart. Because now you really on edge and your anxiety gonna mess around, take you out. You gonna croak and they gonna stay in jail for however long because you ain't never gonna be able to confess. Because you done stressed yourself out and gave yourself an aneurysm or a heart attack because you worried about whether or not you should go turn yourself in because you scared to go to jail. You wasn't scared to do the crime. You said you made a mistake. What was that mistake? Was it a one-time thing? Was it something you had been doing? Was it something that you that's how you get down? That's how you rock? Tell me what it was. No, I'm just saying you got to tell me because I don't want to know. Because I don't want to be involved. The less I know, the less they can ask. You dig? So, I don't know how long the statute of limitations is on whatever your mistake might have been. You might have threw somebody over the riverbank using somebody else's car, and the license plate got caught on film. I don't know. You might be on First 48 next month. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't want to know. I just want you to know that you got options. One of them, the main one being, turn yourself in. Go, if you care about this person, don't let them get washed down the river for something that you did. Like, that's bogus. Like, you can't even take credit for your crime. Like, oh, yeah, man, I was out there. I got bodies, but, other people took the heat for it. Yeah, my cousin took the heat for one. My best friend took the heat for one. Like, I got bodies out there, though. Like, what? You ain't no killer. You're a serial killer because you killing them and your friends and your family and killing your integrity. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you everything going to be fine if you confess. So don't think I'm sitting there and tell you, oh, yeah, just turn yourself in. Everything will be all right. Nope. Not saying that at all. Not at all. Not saying that. Because I've known people who've done that and it did not turn out the greatest for them in the long run. It didn't turn out as great as they thought it was going to be, or they didn't get the deal that they thought they were going to get. What'd you say, McFadden? I'm snitching. Say what you want. Hey, everybody entitled to say, like I say, nobody knows where the nose glows when the doors close. Your nose may be right down on that little pad. Like, yep, this is what happened. This is who did it. And this is why I wasn't there. Boom. Here you go, detective. What's going on, Feb 5 Kim? You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to ask yourself, like, you know, is this derailment of my life more detrimental? What's going on, Mama Denise? Is it more detrimental to me than the derailment of the person who I care about's life? Like, again, remember I said this ain't about the decision right now. It's about what comes after. What happens to the extension of that person's family? What happens in the transition and changing of their life that now has transpired because of something that you did? You essentially changed their life. Your silence is allowing their life to go in a trajectory that it really had not been planned for. You know, some people like to 5P things. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? They like to 5P the situation, right? You know, because if you extend it, because piss poor performance promotes pain. That's, you know, that's another extension of it all. But like, people like to get those things into perspective, right? How can I plan? And if they weren't a part of your plan to do this crime, this wasn't part of their 5Ps. Their preparation was nowhere near even in the thought pattern, in the bubble of what you got them into right now. So, again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you everything is going to be okay, because you may not even be okay with your friend after this. They may respect you a little bit for you at least stepping up to the plate, but it depends on how long you let them sit in there. Or if they could have avoided being in there in the first place. Maybe they called you as their first call. Hey, man, just let you know, they got me down here on some such and such and such. Can you help me out? You know, that might have been the code word, like, you know something about this, don't you? You know, I don't know what conversation has transpired between you and the person you care about who's getting the charge for something that you did. But it's way too many variables that could go in a negative way if the next steps don't include you owning up and having the cojones. What's going on, Travis McCullough? You having the cojones to say, you know what? That's on me, baby. I did this. I can't let the homie, or I can't let my cousin, or I can't let my sister, or I can't let my brother, whoever it is that's cared about, loved one of yours that's catching the heat. You know, if it's not the heat from Hot 7025, then why you letting them take that? You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be the same between y'all, depending on how long you let them take the heat for. Now, if it just happened to be a situation or a circumstance where they got caught up and now you trying to figure out what to do, what, you know, as far as like, you know, they don't want you to say nothing just yet, but they want to see how it play out. I don't know. I'm not privy to the nuances of all the pieces of the puzzle, but overall blanket of it, IMO, and in the opinion of others who've also on here, who listening and chiming in, they say turn yourself in, take your claim, state your claim on what it is you did. You know, my advice is to step up to the plate. Like, you know, be ready for whatever the system throw at you. You know, because when you confess, and I hope you do, make sure that you prepared, though. You got to 5P that situation. That means you got to have you an attorney together. You got to have, like, you know, you be open with your attorney, though, like, because they got, you know, attorney-client privilege. They gotta keep some stuff on the hush, but they tell you how to get around stuff because they want wins, too. They want wins. So be open with them like they're your therapist or something. Like, you know, them the people that can't really say nothing. They can't say what you say, you know, in confidence and privacy. So open up with them. That may help you get a better understanding of how to get yourself and not get your friend or person or whoever it is that you care about out of this situation. You can't think that letting somebody else take the heat for you in any facet is ever a good thing to do. You know, like, even if you can be online pledging and somebody else got to take heat for you, you feel bad. You missed the question, but yet your tail dog got to take the heat. You know what I mean? You feel bad. even in those situations, even though you know you don't want that smoke either, but they didn't deserve it. So this person that you care about, you got to pop out for them. You got to take that heat. You got to get in the cut and take that heat for them. There's no ifs, ands, maybes, buts about it, you know? Like I said, you got a choice in front of you. It's about what's doing right. Not about what to do. It's about the right thing to do. Right? You still can rewrite the end of this story by you stepping in and making the edits right now as the editor of the story and the author of the story. Because according to you, you got this thing cracking. They didn't. They didn't get it cracking. You did. You know, so you got to ask yourself, like, is that okay? Is that cool for somebody? What's going on, Mrs. Contreras? Is that okay? Is that cool for this person that I care about to be taking the heat for something that I did? Like any of us that have siblings, like when your sibling get in trouble, or if you like your favorite cousins, or if your cousins get in trouble for something you did, you feel bad. Like y'all, they still gonna be your cousins. Y'all still gonna play. Y'all still gonna kick it, but it ain't gonna be the same. Because they know you let them take the heat for something you did. But for them not to rat you out should have showed you something about the integrity that you're supposed to be exhibiting in this situation. Them not ratting you out should be enough to say, like, you know what? I owe them this. You know, they took the heat for me. They showed, what'd you say, Ms. Contreras? If you grown, you better step up. Absolutely. You know, they've shown you that they'll go to bat for you, that they got your back already. They've shown you that by taking the heat that they know that they didn't do. Because when you know, like, 1,000,000% sure you know you didn't do something, like you're not even considering, like, damn, could that have been me? Did it? You know, is that red light camera picture of me? Even though it looked like my mama? Is that me? You know? But when you know you didn't do something, you're like, nah, that ain't me. They can have on your clothes and be like, nah, that ain't me. I know that for sure. That's not me, dog. It could be your identical twin. I know that's not me. Oh, I was never there. I never did that. So for them to sit quietly sitting on that, knowing that somebody they know had something to do with it, probably knowing that it's you, then that speaks volumes about their loyalty to what they are to you. That speaks volumes to that, right? That says, like, hey, you know, like, I'm here for you in your corner, but get me out this. Get me out this ish. You know what I mean? Like, I'm riding with you. I ain't snitching on you, because that's the part that speaks the most to me. Their silence is speaking the most volume. The fact that they not even saying a word about, well, I kind of might know who did this. You know what I mean? I might have an idea who did this, but I'm going to need y'all to kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, let me off the hook if I tell y'all who did this, right? I got, excuse me, man. My Dewey under here killing my hair, killing my brain, squeezing the hell out of me. But you got to kind of still rock. You got to have the integrity to say, hey, my friend, look, my bad I left you in this lurch for so long. My bad for leaving you stuck in this situation. Because there is reparation to come from this relationship if it hasn't gone too far. If you haven't allowed it to go too far, it's a possibility that you might be able to repair this relationship, this friendship, this kinship that you have with this person that you care about that's taking the heat for. Because right now, the longer you wait, the more and more and more is slipping away from you. It's spreading. The gap is spreading between y'all two. The ravine in your friendship is widening. So whatever way you need to picture it, you know? Because at the end of the day, like, you got the power to rechange someone's life. Because there's so many things that go into being arrested. Anybody who's ever been arrested knows these things, right? Or anybody who's ever seen someone arrested knows these things, knows that there's a lot that goes into it. There's embarrassment, there's disappointment, there's fear, there's like anxiety, so many things that are none of which are on the positive side. Let's start there. There are no positive add-ons when it comes to being the person that's being arrested. Unless they stopping you from eating people on the west side of Philadelphia or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing good that goes into the side of the person that's being arrested, right? So think about all this stuff that they've gone through for something they didn't do. What'd you say, McFadden Amber? What if something happens to that person while they're locked? That's what I was saying. Like, what if something happens to them while they locked up? You know what I mean? Like, the psychology of being in jail in itself, from holding to changing clothes to this is your new room and your new roommates, like all the psychology involved in that in and of itself is a big old boulder. So you got a chance to be like Atlas and lift this boulder off this person to keep it from crushing them. I'm hoping that they're not currently incarcerated. I'm hoping that while you're contemplating this, they're not being subjected to the things that are preparing them to be ready to stay for a while. I hope there was some bond that was involved in this. Or maybe not even incarceration as of yet, that they just said, we coming to serve a warrant on this person. Hopefully you can stop it, or as one of my favorite words, you can thwart this activity from occurring. But again, when you do this confessing, make sure you prepare yourself. Don't go in there just like, okay, forget it. I'm here to confess. Take me to jail, Mr. Officer, or Your Honor, or whoever you going to confess to. Nah, you go in there with a lawyer. You go prepared. You got to 5P that situation. You better prepare yourself to prevent poor performance. You better properly prepare yourself. Because if not, then you're not doing yourself any service. You just kind of going through there willy-nilly. So yeah, you helping your friend out, but you're not setting yourself up for the most amount of success. Because we all think that we can be lawyers on our own a lot of times, like, and in traffic cases, we probably can. But a lot of times we still lose those if the cop shows up. So if this is something that's indictable, man, listen, we not smarter than them in that arena as far as like the things they try to say to trip us up. Unless you in a courtroom every day, unless you are a lawyer, you're not going to be a good lawyer for yourself. And even they say the lawyer with himself as a client as a fool for an attorney. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense to try to go in there by yourself. So I want you to prepare yourself after you make this decision to make things right. That's my whole thing. I'm hoping what you're getting out of this is to prevent anything from further occurring towards the person that you care about. Because the longer this drags out, the more it weighs on them. And we all know things about weight. When stuff weighs heavier on you, it breaks you down. It breaks you down. It minimizes you. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you carrying it, you lifting it, it makes you stronger, but it wears you down. You can go to the gym 5 times a week, 2 times a day. You getting stronger, but each day something is wearing down. Something on you is wearing down because you're putting extra weight on yourself. You're putting weight on them by allowing them to sit in that jail or allowing them to continue to be under the umbrella of this indictment. Don't do that. That's no good. That's no good at all. Don't just set the police up with their own case, though. That's what I'm saying. Don't go in there and be like, let me tell you everything that happened. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P. I'll be like, yeah, my name is Blankerson, and this is my attorney, Esquire Esquireson. You know? Going there represented. That's how you represent. By going in represented. Always have your backup in arenas in which you are unfamiliar. Why not? Why would you not? Why would you not? Why would you want to go into unfamiliar territory, meaning the courtroom or to wherever they, the police station or wherever you would go to make your confession? Why would you want to go in there ill-equipped? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. Yeah, I know. Esquires, and you wouldn't want to go in there ill-equipped. You wouldn't want to go into the Coliseum, the arena, to fight a lion as a gladiator with no weapons. You want to go in there equipped. So how do you equip yourself? By going into an arena that you're not familiar with. You get the people who are, meaning lawyers. You get the people who are people who've been through, advocates and, doctors who can help you understand and explain your situation. If you can claim insanity depending on what it is. You were crazed, insane. That's why you took you so long to turn yourself in. Find a way. But do it with somebody who knows how to do it in that arena. That's all I ask. My piece of advice to you. I'm going to say that's all I ask because, again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to tell you what can be done. But in the event that you go that direction, then I'd prefer for you to be equipped and ready for whatever that arena brings you. Sometimes your lawyer is your shield. Sometimes your lawyer is your sword. Sometimes your lawyer is your invisibility cloak. Because they can get in there, get to talking, they'll forget you even on the defendant's seat. Till it's time to say, Mr. or Miss Blanker Blankerson, stand up. By that time, it's too late. Because you had a professional in there with you. You had a guide in there with you. We talked about your conscience earlier being your guide, right? Being able to hear those inner questions, those inner voices. That's being your conscience, being your guide. Hopefully they'll guide you to do, your conscience will guide you to get yourself some representation before you go and turn yourself in for whatever this crime may have been. And you might be looking and be like, but 360, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. This a body I ain't want. Like, it could be a body. Now, if they finna face some life, I understand why you contemplating. But still, if you care about them, you got to be able to say, hey, all right, I'm going to own up to this ish, man. I got my last little woo-ha out while I was out here, and I got to go face the music. Because guilty and torn, you didn't say whether you were male or female. And I love the ambiguity about it. Because what if this is a female guilty and torn and, somebody you care about, what if it's your husband that you care about and he doing time and he probably tell you, nah, babe, I'll do the time for you. Like, but you want to turn yourself in because eating you up. Who knows? I just want you to feel like you can be able to express yourself articulately regardless of whom you get to take in with you as your shield, that you yourself, your honesty is a weapon too. I want you to understand that. What's going on, 5 Foot Crown? Your honesty is a weapon as well, and I want you to understand that. Like, that's equipping you to be in a better position on the other side. Because I keep referring back to that. This choice that's in front of you is not just about the choice you're making right now. It's about the results of what come out on the other side of this decision. It's about, as like I said, in the day, it's about stopping someone who you care about, and in your words, from being railroaded, meaning getting ran over on the train. Anybody ever wonder what railroaded means? It means you're getting put on them tracks. Tied down to them tracks and railroaded. So you letting them get railroaded for something that they didn't do. How come you can't be honest with yourself and go honest, be integrated, and go talk to the people, I told them you did that. Big up if you do. You know? It's about honesty and integrity. Shy Kyler said it earlier. The trust and honesty is gone at this point. But that's something that could be salvageable depending on how you move. They say life is like chess. This is a very pivotal move. You got some pieces that you can take, you know, or you got some pieces you can move and put in a position to where you can be the one who gets taken down. What's this say, 5 Foot Crown? This is definitely an idea I figured out for an upcoming project. Okay, what that mean? Give me some more on that. Give me some more. Now, I don't know what that mean, but you about to put somebody in jail for something you did? Let me know what you're talking about there, 5 Foot Crown. You know what I mean? Like, guilty and torn, like I myself asked, like Shy Kyler asked, like Faith Works 100 asked, like Lucy Lowe made the mention to, could you live with yourself? Like McFadden Amber said, like, if you grown, you got to make this decision. You got to make this decision. Like, how grown am I? Am I grown enough to face up and man up to my own decisions? Or am I going to cower away and be in the corner like, well, they didn't get me. They didn't get me, so. But if you can live with that, if you just, like somebody said before, if you're a heartless individual, it's nothing. That's like that them commercials like, how'd you sleep? I slept great with a Sealy mattress firm Posturepedic. So I was all night long. You know what I mean? If you may have that kind of conscience. No say. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to give you options of what can be done. You can sit back and hold this information, but you got to understand and weigh that. You know, like I said before, you got to weigh the innocence versus the guilt feeling. Like your guilt versus their innocence. How does that weigh up? Are those equal? Is your guilt not that bad so their innocence should be okay? You know, that's one way you can look at it. Or you can look at it like, damn, you know what? I got to own up to this. Oh, you say you're writing a character dealing with this, like, does a person do with survivor's remorse when someone they say they care about charged with a crime? Okay, I did, and that's another thing. This is a form of survivor's remorse because you survived the litigation so far. You know, you survived the prosecution so far, and now you're dealing with it. Okay? So, you know, no matter how scared you are, one thing I got to say to you before we get you out of here, guilty and torn, is, you know, look in the mirror and ask that person, like, how do you feel about this really? And be honest with it, okay? So that's it for this one, y'all. You know, so if you got any thoughts, make sure you send me some emails, send me some texts, you know, hit me with a call, leave a voicemail if you got my number. But, you know, again, you give me a holla@thehomie@gmail.com. That's HOLLAATTHAHOMIE. And like you said, a lot of people said they couldn't let them go down for something that they did on their own. So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Holla at the homie, y'all, in a minute.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot702.5fm.com.